This is The Great Expanse by John Bat 426 here on YouTube, and it's always a pleasure to record these videos, to edit them, put my unique spin on them, in hopes that they will stand out, and they are done for your enjoyment, for your listening enjoyment and your viewing enjoyment. And if you've liked the videos that you've seen thus far, hit the like button. If not, hit the dislike button. Share these videos with other people that you know that like comic book related stuff as much as you do. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell for notifications. All, not the one that says personalized or the one underneath, but all. So when it nicks, I'm sorry, we're gonna mess that one up, and we're gonna keep going. So you already know what the video is about. This is my review of Adam Eve, the Invincible prequel to season 2. And I just want to say out the gate that whatever company is responsible for bringing Image Comics Invincible characters to animation should be commended. Because this prequel picks up right where Invincible left off in terms of animation quality. There isn't as much gore in this one, even though there is some gore. But it's not, how do I explain it? It's not like human gore, you know what I mean, where you see like bodies, like, remember when Omni-Man was fighting Invincible in that city, and then, you know, he held him up in front of the subway train, and just that, just like bodies just exploding. It wasn't that kind of gore. There was a different type of gore. It was like monster horror gore. So it's kind of like, well, it's already nasty, so if you see it melting and falling off, you know what I mean? It's like, it's sort of that kind of gore. But I thought this was very well done. Adam Eve is a fantastic character. I loved Adam Eve in the first season of Invincible. Her power set is just amazing to me. As I said, she could almost become invincible herself. Except, again, she does not have the resilience of Viltrumite genes. This deals with how she was born. She was born to a purple-haired woman, like the, what are they called? Like the Targaryens in a Game of Thrones. And she was born in a facility, and I believed that Dr. Randy Worth, I thought he was Cecil at first. I'm sorry. Dr. Worth and Samantha's mother just sped away from the facility. But anyway, as I was saying, I thought it was Cecil at first, because he was drawn pretty similar to the Cecil character from season 1. And he kind of looked like Cecil a little bit. So there's a big there's a big battle between the Lizard League, which is basically a version of the Serpent Society from Marvel Comics, against the Guardians of the Globe, most of the Guardians. This was Black Samson before he lost his powers and he had to wear that suit. Immortal, almost said Wonder Woman, War Woman, Fishman, and I don't remember his name, and the Intangible guy. I forgot their names, so I apologize. But they hint at the fact that Wonder Woman, not Wonder Woman, they hint at the fact that War Woman is a gay character. They don't directly come out and say it, but they hint at it, because in the comic books, you know, she's totally gay. So he says something about somebody said something, it's hard to figure men out, and she said, well, I don't want to. So that was the only hint they gave, so it wasn't like in your face, you know what I mean? So they're battling the Lizard League, and it's during this battle that Samantha's real birth mother and Dr. Randy Worth escape. And we hear him on the phone with somebody that's loud. It almost sounds like Harry Lennox, but I don't think that's the voice actor. But he's saying, bring that weapon back to the facility, and Randy Worth's like, but it's falling apart, it's in disarray. So, you know, he has compassion on her mother, he has compassion on her. The mother does not survive her childbirth, at least we don't think she does. Apparently she dies. And Dr. Worth cuts her out, and he performs a C-section. He cuts her out of the stomach of her mother. They don't show that, thank God. And basically he gives her to the Wilkins, who is the trash parent set that Eve ran away from in season 1 of Invincible. And, you know, because their baby died during childbirth. So basically Randy Worth just gave Adam Eve to the Wilkins, so they think that that's their birth child. Okay. And her parents are trash. You know, they never changed their clothes. Yeah, I noticed stuff like that. They never changed their clothes at all. So that's definitely a sign that they're trash. No, but I'm kidding. They're always calling her a weirdo. They're always using like derogatory terms to describe her. She meets this girl from across the street, and she's like, yeah, my parents say you're a weirdo. So obviously the word is getting out that this girl is a weirdo. at the word of her own parents. So they're garbage. All right. But one thing I like about Adam Eve is you see her come into her own. You see how her powers are developed. She looks like she has like autism or something, or that she's like socially challenged but intellectually brilliant, because she can create molecules out of Legos. I don't know if they call them Legos or whatever, but like little Tinker toys. The young man Zach that was watching her, she helped him like ace his science test. She like knows like the periodic table. She has all these molecule structures memorized. So she's just brilliant. She's just really brilliant. And then she discovers the ability to see these molecules and to rearrange them as she chooses. And this is when you see her develop into an older young girl. And this is when Dr. Randy Worth, he looks like a hobo because he's been living off the grid. He finds Adam Eve. Okay, I don't know. Did he know her name was Samantha? I think he knew her name was Samantha. But he slowly reveals to her who she is. He said, "I knew your birth mother. I was there when you were born." He says, "The Wilkins are not your birth parents." All right. And at this time, there's a drone circling overhead and is taking footage of Adam Eve using her powers. And the guy that I thought was Harry Lennox earlier on, his name was Erickson. I thought he was the president of the United States because he had the little the United States flag emblem on his lapel. But I don't think he was the president. I just think he was a part of military intelligence of the United States. So he's saying, that's the weapon, retrieve the weapon. And in the meantime, his like one-eyed sidekick, looks like a pure mad scientist, is like experimenting with these disgusting looking creatures. And the one little blonde-haired kid was like a muscle, like he could barely keep his skin on his body, and he's like focused, and it's like really abusive. So we see that Adam Eve, she wants to find out more about who her birth mother is. So she goes to Burger Mart, of all places, with Randy Worth. Adam Eve is attacked by the blonde-haired mutant and the other three that can barely hold any kind of form. I think one of them like melts or falls apart. It's kind of gross, but like I said, it was gory, but it wasn't like human gore, where like dismemberment of like a regular person, but they're already like melting off their bones anyway. So she defeats them, and obviously they just wanted to die anyway. Okay, because they were never treated like people. They were kept in tubes. She was always called the perfect one. So like I said, they're mutated creations, and they were always fed the information that Adam Eve was the perfect one. And so basically they're just on a suicide mission, basically. Like they are sent by Erickson to obtain Adam Eve, but they're like, let's just die trying, basically. So she defeats them, and then Adam Eve is taken back to the medical facility. I don't remember where it was, but there she runs into Erickson. Randy Worth is there. He's pleading for her life, and then she's like in restraints, and then she says, let Randy Worth go and you can keep me. So something ensues. I don't remember, but the doctor with one eye I told you about, he reveals that these other mutated creations were the product of her actual birth mother, who was still alive, but she was just like a husk of a person with these tubes coming out of her. But it's actually Adam Eve's birth mother, Samantha's birth mother. So a fight ensues. Randy Worth is like struggling with the gun, and of course, you know what happens next. People die unintentionally, like. So the birth mother is killed in the tube. She dies. As Erickson and Randy Worth are struggling for the gun, Randy Worth gets shot in the head. He dies. So then Adam Eve goes kind of Dark Phoenix a little bit. So she like starts glowing and floating, and she says that like she can see molecules. She gives a little soliloquy beforehand, and she makes Erickson forget. I don't know how, but whatever. Okay. So then then she just says, you killed my entire family. Those mutants were her siblings, her mother, and Randy Worth. They're all dead because of Erickson. So then Samantha returns home on her birthday. Her father is just so badly written. He is just trash. He is a trash character. He's always abusive. He doesn't say the right things. Like when she comes home late, he's like, where were you? There's nothing good about this character. And no disrespect to the people that make the series, but to me it's poor writing. I'm sorry. There's no rhyme and reason for him to be this abusive. It's like, why? He's a trash character. And he's somebody that you're like, when Adam Eve is leaving home, you're like, yes, get away from this jerk in season 1. But he equal jerk here, and that's basically it. I mean, it was, like I said, it was very well done. You're emotionally invested in Adam Eve's journey. You see why she is the way she is because of her parents, because of her backstory. She finds out that she's not even their child, and they never know. I don't think she ever tells them either. Well, you're not my birth parents anyway. But she just lives with that secret, and she rearranges the molecules of a photo of her and the Wilkins, and she rearranges it so that it looks like Randy Worth, herself, her birth mother, and her 3 siblings that melted before her eyes in a battle with her. So overall, I would give this a B plus. No, I'm sorry, that was an A. Sorry, a B plus, because this was very well done, and it's a nice little appetizer while we're waiting for Invincible season 2 to drop on November 3rd, I believe it is, and I can't wait to see it. I really can't. Now, if you've liked this video, if you've liked my little recap or review or recall or retort of the episode, hit the like button. If not, hit the dislike button. Write a dissertation in the comment section in case you need to vehemently express how you feel about my reaction to this prequel episode. And let's let the YouTube algorithm see that we've got traffic coming in. Traffic going out. And David Brent, please let them know where their comments or their dissertations go, please, sir. Thank you, Mr. Brent. Do your part, and I'll do my part so that The Great Expanse by John Bat 426 can and will expand its name.